Hello everyone, my name is Adly Fahreza and today I'm going to talk about this topic that's becoming more and more relevant, especially in our modern technology-driven world. Books versus screens. What's the best way to learn? For generations, books have been the primary tool for our educations, but in recent decades, screens have become almost unavoidable. From tablets, smartphones to laptops, and even e-readers, screens are everywhere, and they're changing how we learn. So today, I'd like to take a closer look at both formats, their strength, their weakness, and when we should use each one. Let's explore together which is truly the best way to learn or if the answer is more complex than it seems. So, let's start with some context. In the past, learning was centered around libraries, printed books, and handwritten notes. It was a slower process, but many people believe it allowed for deeper focus and reflections. Today, the internet has made information more accessible than ever. We can learn practically anything with just a few clicks. So the question arises, has this made us a better learners or are we losing something by moving away from traditional books? Both books and screens have a unique benefits. They can each serve different learning purpose. To understand what works best, we need to look deeper into the differences. So let's begin with books. Books have been trusted learning tools for centuries, and that's it for good reason. First, they are free from a digital distractions. When you read the book, there are no pop-up notifications, no messages, no sudden temptation to check your social media. This helps your brain focus fully on the content. The second is books encourage deep reading. The physical process of turning pages, underlining text, or writing notes in the margins helps many learners engage with the material more thoughtfully. And third, reading from paper is easier on the eyes. Long hours on the screen exposure can cause a fatigue and headache, or even insomnia due to the blue light. Finally, studies have shown that people often retain more information when they read physical books, especially when dealing with complex subjects or a long text. So, for learners who value concentration, comprehension, and a tactile experience, books remain a powerful tool. Now, let's talk about screens. It's impossible to deny how much they've transformed learning. One major benefit is interactivity. Screens allow us to watch videos, take quizzes, see 3D models, and even simulate real life experience, all of which make learning more engaging and fun. Screens are also incredibly portable and convenient. Imagine carrying an entire library in a tablet. It saves space, weight, and even money. Another big advantage is accessibility. With just one device and an internet connection, we can access millions of articles, tutorials, ebooks, and educational videos all within a second. And let's not forget the real-time collaborations. Whether you're working on a project, attending an online class, or sharing notes with your classmates, screens make communication and teamwork faster and easier. So, in summary, screens are excellent for a dynamic learning, especially for subjects that require demonstration, visualization, or practice like science, programming, or even music. So, what does science says all about all this? The research comparing book reading and screen reading has given us some interesting insights. In general, people tend to remember more details and understand better when they're reading from a physical book, especially when the text is long or complicated. That's because the brain creates a mental maps while flipping through the page, which help with recall. However, screens offer faster access to multimedia learning. Many learners, especially the younger ones, benefit from video contents or interactive exercise that make abstract concept is easier to understand. One challenge with screen is a distraction. Switching between tabs, checking the notification, or multitasking during study time can be reduce attention and hurt learning outcomes. But when used purposefully, screens can enhance learning through the multisensory input combining audio, visual, and motion to help the brain remember better. So while the book might still win for focus and depth, screens can boost engagement and accessibility. But let's break it down further. When to use the books or the screen? You need to focus for a long time. The content is complex, you want to reduce screen time and avoid distraction, then use books for your learning. But when you want to watch a demonstration, you need to look at something up quickly, you're working with others or learning hands-on skill, you can use the screens for your study. Choosing the right tool can be your learning more efficient and enjoyable. So, the conclusion is there's no universal answer to the question of books versus screen. Each has its own strength and ideal use case. Books are best for focus, comprehension, and deep thinking. Screens are best for flexibility, engagement, and multimedia learning. The best learning method depends on your personal style, your goals, and the context in which you're learning. So, don't limit yourself to just one. Explore both and find the balance that works for you. That's all for me. Thank you for your attention. See you.